Have you ever wondered if some of the little habits you do every single day might secretly be making your life harder? If you're between 65 and 80, this might be the most important video you watch all year. Today, we're going to talk about 5 surprising mistakes many older adults make every day. Things that seem harmless, even normal, but can quietly steal your confidence, happiness, and independence. These aren't the same old tips you've heard 100 times. These are the habits that slip under the radar, until one day you wake up and realize they've been shaping the way you age physically, mentally, and emotionally. And here's the thing, this isn't about judgment. It's about freedom. Freedom to live stronger, smarter, and more at peace with yourself. The last point I'll share today is one that most people completely overlook, and it might just change the way you think about getting older. So stay with me all the way to the end. Before we dive in, hit like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an episode of wisdom that can truly change your life. Ready? Let's start uncovering these hidden habits, starting with a heavy one. Number 1. Carrying old grudges. One of the quietest but most destructive habits people carry into their 60s, 70s, and even 80s is holding on to old resentments. Maybe it's a family feud that started decades ago. Maybe it's a friend who betrayed you, or a neighbor who once said something cruel. These grudges don't just live in your memory, they live in your body and spirit. Science shows that chronic resentment raises stress hormones, increases inflammation, and even weakens the immune system. You might think, but I have a right to be upset. And maybe you do. But here's the truth. The person who hurt you might have moved on long ago. Meanwhile, you're the one carrying the heavy suitcase of anger, day after day, year after year. Picture it dragging that suitcase everywhere you go. It gets heavier until you can barely enjoy where you're headed. I once met a man named Walter, 79, who hadn't spoken to his sister in over 30 years because of a fight over their parents' will. When I asked if he missed her, he said every single day, but his pride kept him silent. After we talked, Walter made the call. They didn't solve every issue, but they laughed, cried, and finally said the things that needed to be said. Walter told me it felt like taking off a backpack he didn't know he'd been wearing for decades. Forgiveness isn't about excusing bad behavior. It's about choosing peace over poison. Even if the other person never apologizes, forgiving them in your heart can release you. If this story hits home, type letting go in the comments. It's a simple step towards setting down your own heavy suitcase. Number 2. Ignoring your appearance. The next mistake might surprise you. Giving up on how you look. Some older adults quietly fall into the mindset of, why bother? They stop caring about clothes that fit, skip haircuts, or shrug off the mirror as if it no longer matters. But here's the truth. How you present yourself directly affects how you feel inside. The moment you stop caring for your appearance is often the moment you start giving up on yourself. This isn't about chasing youth or trying to impress anyone. It's about dignity, self-respect, and vitality. When you look in the mirror and see someone who's clean, well-groomed, and put together, you remind yourself that you still belong in this world, that you still matter. I'll never forget Gloria, 76, who told me she hadn't worn lipstick in years. After a friend convinced her to try a shade she once loved, her face lit up. I didn't realize how much I missed myself, she said. That little tube of lipstick didn't just add color, it restored confidence. Fresh clothes, a good haircut, or simply washing and moisturizing your face. These small acts spark energy, confidence, and connection. Number 3. Always needing to be right. Growing older often means people listen less. It can be tempting to double down, correct others, and insist that your way is the only way. But acting like you're always right doesn't win respect. It drives people away. Wisdom isn't about having all the answers. It's about knowing when to speak and when to listen. It's about understanding that the world keeps changing, and there's always more to learn. I once knew Harold, 81, a brilliant man who was also terribly lonely. His daughter said, he always has to win every conversation. Over time, friends stopped visiting. Grandkids avoided phone calls. When Harold finally chose connection over correction, everything changed. He started listening, laughing, and rebuilding relationships he thought were lost. Humility is a quiet kind of strength. Let your kids teach you something, even if you already know it. Let your grandkids share their opinions without interruption. You'll be amazed how much closer people feel when they're heard. Comment connection over correction if you agree that relationships are more important than winning arguments. Number 4. Refusing to try new things. Routine can feel comforting, but it can also slowly shrink your world. Eating the same meals, watching the same shows, talking to the same people, these habits quietly drain excitement from life. Life doesn't stop being interesting after 65. In fact, this stage can be the most freeing. No bosses, no young kids to raise, no need to impress anyone. But if you stop exploring, you start shrinking. Your world becomes smaller, conversations more repetitive, and your mind less sharp. New experiences don't have to be big or expensive. Try a new walking route. Take a watercolor class. Learn how to use a smartphone or tablet. Join a weekly discussion group. Eleanor, a widow in her 70s, once refused to touch a smartphone. Her grandson offered to teach her. Months later, she was video chatting with high school friends and ordering groceries online. It made me feel alive again, she said, not because of the phone itself, but because she proved to herself that she could still grow. Every time you say, "I don't do that," you draw a line around your world. But that line can become a cage. Open the door. Try something new, not because you must, but because you can. If you've recently tried something new, share it in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else to take their first step. Number 5. Pretending you don't need help. This final mistake is one of the most dangerous. Acting like you can handle everything alone. Whether it's pride, fear of being a burden, or not wanting to seem old, too many seniors suffer silently instead of asking for help. But refusing help isn't strength, it's self-sabotage. You've spent decades proving your independence. Now, true wisdom is knowing when to say, "Yes, I could use a hand." Maybe it's telling your doctor about a new symptom, letting a neighbor carry heavy groceries, or allowing a family member to fix something around the house. Asking for help doesn't make you weak. It keeps you safe, connected, and respected. And here's something beautiful. When you accept help, you give others a sense of purpose. People, especially your children and grandchildren, often want to feel useful. By saying yes, you're not a burden. You're giving them a gift, the gift of feeling needed. Jim, 74, used to climb ladders to clean his gutters until a minor fall scared him. He finally let his nephew help. Not only did they finish safely, but they shared lunch and laughter they hadn't enjoyed in years. That single yes built trust, connection, and warmth that both of them will never forget. If you believe asking for help is a sign of wisdom, type strong and smart in the comments below. Finally, at this stage of life, you've earned more than just comfort. You've earned clarity. Clarity to see the habits that quietly steal your energy, confidence, and joy. Each of these 5 mistakes might seem small on its own, but together they shape the kind of life you wake up to every morning. The good news? It's never too late to shift gears. Growing older doesn't mean being stuck. It means you have the wisdom to reflect, adapt, and grow. So ask yourself right now, which of these habits has been weighing me down? What would happen if I finally let it go? The moment you recognize a habit is the moment you can release it. And when you do, something beautiful happens. You smile more, breathe easier, sleep better, and feel the joy of living, not just existing. Share in the comments which of these 5 habits you're ready to change. Your story might inspire someone else to find their freedom. If this video resonated with you, like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss another episode of Insightful Elders, where we celebrate living well at every age. Remember, you are not defined by your past habits. You are defined by the choices you make today. Choose freedom. Choose connection. Choose life. Thank you for spending this time with me. Here's to your next chapter, lighter, brighter, and more joyful than ever.